My best friend passed away last week, and I can't tell my wife because she'll dial her nagging up to 11. My dad passed away 3 years ago. I was destroyed. He was my hero, the man who taught me how to ride a bike, how to throw a football, how to be a man. I got the call at 2 a.m. from my mom. She was sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. I just sat there in the dark, crying until the sun came up. The next morning, I was still in shock. I hadn't slept a single minute. I was making coffee with shaky hands, trying to figure out funeral arrangements. My wife walks into the kitchen, looks at the sink, and starts screaming, "You're 34 years old and you still can't wash dishes properly. There's a water spot on this glass." A water spot. My father had been dead for 6 hours. I told her I just got the worst news of my life. I told her my dad was gone. She looked at me for a second, then rolled her eyes and said, "That doesn't mean the house has to fall apart." I stood there holding that coffee cup, feeling like I'd been punched in the chest. I told myself maybe she's just stressed. Maybe she doesn't process grief well. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. I made excuses for her. I always made excuses for her. Then, a year later, my mentor at work passed away. This man had spent 5 years teaching me everything I know. He stayed late every week to help me learn, wrote me 3 recommendation letters, got me promoted twice, treated me like I was his own son. He had a heart attack at his desk on a Tuesday afternoon. I found out from an email. The day I got the news, I came home quiet. I just needed some space to process. My wife was watching some reality show when I walked in. I sat down on the couch and didn't say anything. I guess my face showed something because she paused her show and looked at me. And within 30 seconds, she was yelling, "Why do you always make that face when I ask you to take out the garbage?" What face? I didn't even know what she was talking about. I hadn't said a single word. I had just found out someone I cared about deeply was gone. She spent the next hour berating me about my attitude, about how I never appreciate anything she does, about how exhausting it is living with someone so moody and distant. I apologized just to make it stop. I went to bed that night wondering what was wrong with me. Why couldn't I just be normal? Why did I keep making her upset? It took me 2 more years to see the pattern. Every single